There's a certain kind of person who is completely strange. The moment they walk into a restaurant, a friend's living room, or a casual meeting, their eyes immediately scan the room to locate every single exit before they even sit down. Be honest, have you ever felt your chest tighten just because someone sat behind you where you couldn't see them? You try to focus on the conversation, you force a smile, but deep down, a part of your brain is quietly tracking the movements of every stranger in the room.
If you constantly find yourself doing this, or if you are wide awake at 3 a.m. while the rest of the world is asleep, your brain isn't broken. In fact, psychology shows these aren't just random quirks, they are survival mechanisms. When a child grows up in an environment where emotional or physical safety is entirely absent, the brain permanently rewires its threat detection system.
Welcome back. It is Vyn again. And today we will be determining the 7 habits you do as an adult that actually signs of childhood neglect and trauma that you carry into your adult life, why your brain forces you to do them, and the extreme psychological shifts behind them.
First, excessive apologizing. You find yourself saying sorry when someone bumps into you, when a waiter brings the wrong order, or even when it rains. In a traumatizing childhood home, your physical presence alone was often treated as an annoying inconvenience or a trigger for a parent's rage. You apologize constantly because your subconscious mind genuinely believes that taking up space in the world is a mistake that requires forgiveness.
Second, chronic over-explanation. When someone asks you a simple question, like, why were you late? Or, did you finish the project? You don't just give a straight answer. You launch into a massive, detailed narrative justifying every single second of your day. This stems directly from a childhood where you were constantly blamed, accused, or forced to prove your innocence to volatile or neglectful parents. Your brain learned that a lack of information equals danger. So you over-explain to preemptively stop people from getting angry at you.
The third one is hoarding or secretly hiding small comforts. You might find yourself stashing extra snacks in your bedroom drawers, keeping old, useless receipts, or holding on to secret pools of cash that your partner doesn't know about. The cause? This comes from a childhood marked by scarcity, either a literal lack of resources or a severe starvation of emotional warmth. Your brain hoards physical things or control because it is terrified that everything you have could be stripped away from you in an instant, just like it was when you were young.
Fourth, the chronic procrastination mixed with high performance only to pull an all-nighter and deliver flawless, high-quality work under extreme pressure. This isn't laziness, it's a trauma response called functional freeze. When you grow up under chaotic, high-stress conditions, your nervous system becomes habituated to crisis mode. Your brain literally struggles to generate the dopamine or adrenaline required to initiate a task unless it is forced into an emergency, do-or-die situation. Fifth, the radical self-reliance, or the I don't need help trap. When you are drowning in work, struggling financially, or emotionally breaking down, you will never, ever ask for help. You would rather burn out completely than delegate a single task. This is a direct response to severe childhood neglect. Early on, you realize that the adults who were supposed to protect and assist you were completely unreliable or absent. Your brain formed an unshakable core belief. If I want to survive, I can only rely on myself. Asking for help is dangerous because people always let me down.
The 6 habits that you do that are a sign of childhood neglect and trauma is hyper-vigilance to micro-expressions. You can read a room faster than an advanced radar system. If a friend's tone shifts by a fraction of an octave, or if your partner sighs slightly louder while washing the dishes, your stomach drops. You immediately think, what did I do wrong? The cause? As a child, walking on eggshells wasn't a metaphor. It was a survival strategy. You had to master reading the microscopic facial shifts of your caregivers to predict if they were about to explode or ignore you for days. your brain never turned that radar off.
And lastly, you are constantly planning your own exit strategies. Whether you are at a party, a dinner, or a business function, you always ensure you have a separate car, a rideshare app open, or a prefabricated excuse ready to leave at a moment's notice. The thought of being trapped somewhere without a clear way out fills you with absolute dread. In your past, you were frequently trapped in terrifying, chaotic domestic situations with absolutely no escape. As an adult, your nervous system demands a clear exit route in order to feel even remotely safe in a social environment.
If you recognize yourself in these habits, stop telling yourself that you are weak, dramatic, or broken. You are a soldier who is still wearing heavy armor long after the war has ended. The habits that drain your adult energy are the exact tools that kept your soul alive when you were a child. The very next time you feel your chest tighten and you start over-explaining, apologizing, or hunting for an exit route, pause. Touch a physical object near you, like a table or your keys, and say this sentence silently in your mind. I am safe. I am an adult, and the people in this room cannot hurt me. Forcing your brain to acknowledge the physical reality of the present moment instantly cuts off the ancient trauma loops running in your nervous system. You don't need to fix your past to change your present. You just need to remind your brain that you finally made it out alive.